Hello, and thank you for joining us for this brief tour of the InfoSphere Stewardship Center, and in particular, the detailed workflow around governance rule approval. Let's meet the governance team. First, we have Richard. Richard is one of our authors and a business steward editing terms and business rules. Donna, who is a member of our risk advisory team, is also a rule approver. Gary is our governance team lead, and he has been marshaling all of our information governance activities. Richard, who is one of our authors, has already logged into the Information Governance Catalog. He has logged into the Glossary Development edition of the catalog, which is where detailed workflow is performed. Anything done here is not seen by the whole company until it is published. He is working on particular rules. In this case, he is doing a search to find commercial loan maturity date cannot be null. This rule, along with others that we have been requested that we update their definitions to be more detailed for the business users. In this case, we're going to change this so it says that loan maturity dates cannot be null, blank, or void. The users wanted more crisp descriptions. We save the rule, and then once it's saved, it is going to be in draft. So now he could send it for approval, but he's concerned about seeing what else might still be in draft. So he looks over at the different kinds of assets that are in workflow, draft assets, pending approval, approved assets, and he looks at draft assets. It turns out that this is the only rule that's there, so he's going to check it and then send it for approval. He puts in an additional comment so he can track the development history of this rule and says OK, and you'll see that it moves on to the next state. There are no more draft assets. It now actually goes into the bucket for pending approval. So Gary is finished. And now we move on to Donna. Donna, being a member of our risk advisory team, has lots of responsibilities. So she is going about her normal day. And like many of us, she's working on her email, going through the various tasks that she has. She notices she gets a new email. An information governance rule was modified in the InfoSphere Information Governance Catalog. This is important to her, so she is getting an alert being part of our rule approvers group. The rule is commercial loan maturity date cannot be null, and she knows that's one that she's been very concerned about. And she's given a link, and this link points directly to the IBM InfoSphere Stewardship Center. So she logs in, where she will be asked to look at and review the rule more closely. Here in the Stewardship Center, she sees what her current tasks are. She sees that one of them is due today, and this is the one for Information Governance Rule Review. So she clicks on it, and the Stewardship Center has her claim it. When she claims the task, she becomes responsible for it. And now, Stewardship Center will keep track if she's up to date and doing things on time. She can approve or return the rule to draft, but she needs to review it first, and the Stewardship Center presents her with the information that she needs to know. The name of the rule, the description. She can see any comments that were made when the rule was requested to be approved. And she can also click here to actually see the rule directly in the same Information Governance Catalog screens where Richard did the updates. Here she can check more detail, look at the definition, and check other properties. Notice carefully that this is pending approval, and that's why you see that blue icon on the left. But she comes back to the Stewardship Center, and she can check other resources also. She can look at the current process diagram. Now this is a very simple one, but she can see exactly where in the diagram her task is sitting. Business process management processes are contained of what are often called swim lanes. And it's here where we can establish the various responsible people who should be looking at these rules, doing approvals, and the steps necessary to determine that something is valid. You can see that I could zoom in and zoom out as well. Donna can also tap into other experts and people who have experience in doing the same task. We can see that Bailey Carlson has done this task 3 different times, and if Bailey was online, Donna could collaborate with Bailey for further info. We see Gary again as our subject matter expert. Of course, he's our governance lead. And Donna can click here to get other information and possibly call Gary for further details. We can also look at the current stream of the business process flow. And here we can see that Donna has been assigned this particular task. And notice there's a post. This means that Donna can add additional information based on her expertise that either she can use later or that might come in handy for another person who is reviewing this same rule or task. Donna adds a link of other information which will become extremely important if she or other people are going to come back to this particular rule. This is another important factor for Stewardship Center because I can reassign a task to anyone else on the team and be able to track what's happening with it. Here's the factual information, and as noted, if Donna decides to reassign the task back to others or to escalate and promote it to another member of the team who may have more expertise on this particular rule, she can, but her information will be preserved. She decides to approve the rule. Notice it is no longer in her inbox. The task is now moved on to the next level. This is where it will be made available to Gary, who can publish it. So let's go see what Gary is doing. Gary, like Donna, is very busy, but he has to check his email. So he looks at his email, and lo and behold, there is a note here that an information governance rule is awaiting publication. Gary has been notified by the Business Process Management System, controlled by Stewardship Center, that commercial loan maturity date cannot be null is a rule that needs to be published. Gary is given a link that directly goes to the Information Governance Catalog, directly to the rule that needs to be published. He sees the change, or that it has a good, complete description. We notice that commercial loan maturity date has a different icon now. This is the one that is approved and waiting to be published. So Gary publishes it. An additional comment can be added here prior to publication when this business rule will be available to everyone in the organization. As we can see from this demonstration, the InfoSphere Stewardship Center is providing detailed control of the approval steps required from authoring and editing through final approval for business rules. Thank you for watching.